I'm completely lost at words for this game. And honestly, I blame absolutely everyone on this team. Absolutely everyone except for two. Don't blame Bento because it was not his fault. And don't blame Simakan because he made every intersection, every tackle, won every header. I blame Ronaldo for not winning headers and not finishing those chances. I blame Mane for not taking shots and opportunities. I blame Felix for not making good passes and not making passes to open players. I don't blame Garib because he played pretty well. I blame Jesus for putting a right back in the midfield. I blame Coman for playing a midfielder when he's a winger. I blame Ayman, but not really because today just wasn't his day. He played decently, but there were some times when the wingers just ran past him and he should have been there. I blame Martinez for not tracking the striker and moving when it was too late and the ball already goes in the net. I don't blame Simakan because he was tracking the ball to win the header. Bashal just had a bad game and he didn't really do much. Ariana played good and the other fullback played good. Again, Kingsley Coman, I think he played shit. Al-Hamdan, who came from Al-Hilal, the second striker, he honestly played decently, threatening. Angelo created chances. I blame Jesus for subbing them on too late. I blame Sad Al-Nasser for, honestly, he played a defensive mid. You just blame him for having a bad performance. And Al-Hazan, he didn't even do that bad. He was pretty decent. Now, there was a penalty for Sadio Mane at the 67th minute. I do not know how Mane falls in the box and Simakan is dropped too. And I don't know how there's not a penalty for that. I don't know how it's not gone to review. How do you have two players drop in the box and not go call it a pen? And there's a clear penalty for Angelo at the 88th minute right before the game ends. How is there contact and there's no penalty call? Same thing goes for Simakan and Mane. How do you have six players around them all going for the ball? Like they're all sticking a leg in and they both fall. And you don't call that a pen. Even the fans, the whole stadium was screaming at the ref, that's a pen. That's a pen. And it is. It's a pen for both of them. On both occasions, it's a penalty. Now, this is where I blame the ref now. I just blamed the entire team for playing like shit. But Ronaldo, the team didn't service him, but he should have improvised those chances better. He should have finished them. Anyways, now I blame the ref. You're telling me there are two penalties in the box. You don't call them and you don't even give yellow cards for the center backs and the right backs. I think that's complete bullshit. I think a center back or a defensive mid gets a red card in this game for aggressive tackling. They got Felix, Simakan, Al-Hazan, Mane, Ronaldo, Garib. That's basically the whole team. And then they got the subs too, so that's a lot of fouls. And how many free kicks were there in this game? There were and it doesn't even have it on here on the stats. That's incredible. There were 20 total shots. Alright. Most of those were set pieces, like free kicks. How are none of those free kicks yellow cards? Like, I think a defensive mid or center back gets a red card here for his tackling and elbowing a player. I don't remember who he elbowed. But if we're out here elbowing players, getting their ankles, where are the yellow cards, ref? There should have been 10 yellow cards in this game at least. A few for us and a few for them. But I don't know how the ref doesn't call those fouls. I don't. They played like complete shit. Do they still win the league? I don't know. If they played like this against Damak is winning them. Al Hilal just beat Neom 2-0. They're 2 points away from us. We have to win the next game if we want to win the league. Are we winning the league? I don't know. I don't know anymore. Because if they play like they played today, they're not winning the league. They are not winning the league if they perform like this. If they start walking when the clock is ticking and they're running out of time, they're not winning the league. If they're not pressuring when the opponent has the ball, they're not winning the league. If they're leaving open space and not tracking players, they're not winning the league. They cannot perform like this on Thursday. Now, I criticized everyone. I criticized the players, the manager, the ref. I think that's about it here for this game. Now, what I want to talk about, Al Nassr want to sign a player from Sporting called Pedro Gonçalves. You might know him as Pote. He's the left winger. And they want to buy him, not to replace Mane, but for when Mane's out. They put him in. Because Angelo is not Mane. But Pedro Gonçalves can bring the same things that Mane brings. But I think he's just a bit faster than him. Now, I don't know how he fits this team because I'm not sure if he wants to play regularly. But Jesus will also leave this season. Pote has a $35 million clause on him, which is like 30 million euros. I do not know how this team will be run when Jesus leaves, when the season ends. Could it be Xabi Alonso? Could it be Ruben Amorim? Could it be Thiago Motta or Thomas Frank? I don't know. Because if we have two attacking mids, right, then we have two wing backs. We could play a back three. So all of those managers would suit the amount of players we have and how we use them, right? Because if we play a back three, Alamri, Inigo, Simakan, 3 center backs, then there's Brozovic and Angelo, the attacking mids, which would be Pote and Felix, Ronaldo, and then on the sides we have Mane and Sultan, or we could make him come out for Coleman. I don't know how this team works if Pote joins, and I don't know how this team will be managed or who will manage this team when Jesus leaves. So that's something to discuss at a different point in time. Now, I don't know if they win the league. I don't. Maybe that's why they benched Angelo. Maybe that's why Brozovic was not called up, because they're prioritizing the league. If this game was sacrificed for the league, they have to win on Thursday. I don't know how they'll lose 2 finals in the span of a week. If they lose on Thursday, they are called Bottle FC. Because they were at the top of everything, and they would have lost it, right? If they lose on Thursday, it's Bottle FC. And that's not even Arsenal anymore, because they're about to win the Prem. I hope they don't lose on Thursday. I really hope they win, and I hope that they lock in. I hope that Brozovic comes back and that he's played, and I hope that Angelo starts. I hope that Coman starts. I hope that Ronaldo scores. And I hope that on Thursday everyone shows up. Because now, it's now or never. Right? There's no this or that. It's now or never. And that's it. They have to win on Thursday. And that's been it. That's been it for now. If there's anything else on the transfer market, I'll probably make a video on it. Until then, see you Thursday.